We just caught a song here in the dialysis chair. um, I had heard Pastor Max describing how he tested his blood pressure and beat by going from sadness to rejoicing. And I had this tiny little Dollar Tree Bible with me that had never been opened, and I opened it up, and what I got was 1 Corinthians 7:32. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to Yahweh, how he may please Yahweh. I would have you without carefulness. And I'm sure that word carefulness is a really interesting Greek word that has a cool meaning to it. I mean, there's worry and there's fear and there's concern, it'll be nice to figure out what that is. So 1 Corinthians 7:32. And so in the song, I'm getting this wave of a picture of like, if a child is trained to understand that you're still alone with the Holy Spirit, even when you find your person, even when you get married, and there are times when there's so many frustrations that you actually have to be alone. You're going to have to be alone. And it's going to be a trouble because you're going to be frustrated. So teaching a child to be single and content just with the Holy Spirit in their child season is really a cool thing to do. So it starts with D, and the first line, the power line, is just teach your kids to be single. Teach your kids to be single, just between them and God. Teach your kids to be single. He's the only one 100% good. Teach your kids to be single, so they'll have the right love inside. Start out long time, da 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 da. Teach your kids to be single. Help them find a narrow path. Teach your kids to be single. Stop staring at the neighbor's grass. Teach your kids to be single. To lay down all the fight. If you teach your kids to be single ones, they can be happy all night. Teach your kids to be single. Contentment is a big, big deal. Sometimes you break your conscience and you're tempted to steal. Singleness and contentment is a really great key. If you got single joy, and if you got single joy as a girl and boy, your marriage will yield and flow. There you go, right? Teach your kids to be single. Don't be afraid of truth. Train them about the mind and arousal and the covenant beauty too. Keep just get to be single and content in their little hearts. They've got an invisible helper, and he knows all your parts. So this is kind of going somewhere, you know. This is the thing that I missed. This is the thing that I didn't get. This is the thing that atmosphere that could have had the conversation about the mind, the thoughts, the arousal, and the covenant, and how to deal with all those things, you know? And my poor parents were so scared to talk about my conception in the midst of promiscuity that they were afraid to tell me that I showed up from a daddy who's far away. Not until I was 24 did I find out that my dad who raised me had adopted me in the womb. And then it was when I was 40 years old that some fella said to me, "So have you ever prayed for that guy that got your mommy pregnant?" And I learned how to do spoken blessings. May his cornflakes never get damp prematurely, and may he never have a flat tire on the interstate in the pouring rain. You know, and I learned how to Deuteronomy 28, you can turn into a prayer. You can turn the blessings into a prayer and say, I dedicate this prayer of blessing over the person that bugs me the most, or over my mother and my father, or over my most important shepherds and teachers and nurturers. Speaking those things, those blessings out loud to a big deal. You can do those things over me. I definitely could use that. When you see the word if in the Moses writings, you say, may that person, me, David Stephen, may that person hear the Holy Spirit and have the courage to obey him so that he will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. Remember, Abraham was considered righteous because he heard the unusual thing that God was asking, and he went to do that thing even though it took a lot of courage and it wasn't logical. So, speaking the mitzvahs, every time you see if, it's the Holy Spirit age now. So every time you see if, not if you follow the Ten Commandments. No, it's if you, like say may this list of people that I need to bless. Put those people that make you feel bitter on that too. If these people that I wish to bless, you say may they hear your Holy Spirit Yahweh and have the courage to obey whatever they're being told that is truly you. So, teach your kids to be single.